Okay, here we go. We're doing 2.5, talking about 2.5 notes. Holy buckets. Let's have some fun here. 2.5 is all about order of operations. So that's what we're going to talk about. You've done order of operations before. All right, remember PEMDAS back in the old days. But we're going to review it and we're going to just talk about it a different way. All right. Why don't you go ahead and read the explore question for today? Go for it. All right, so we got our adjusted net passing yards per attempt. Wow. So we're going to try to express this in a formula. Okay. So I'm going to use PY and right. There we go. PY for passing yards. Passing touchdowns is PT. Interceptions, I think I want to use I. Sack yards lost, SYL. And then passing attempts, I'm going to go PA. And sacks, I'm just going to go S. Okay? So we want to create a formula, create an expression using those letters. Okay? So it says passing yards plus the number of passing touchdowns times 20. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go PY plus 20 passing touchdowns, so 20 PT. Now I know that it's written as PT times 20. Whenever we write, variables like 2x, the 2 always comes before. If it was 20x, the 20 is attached to the front. All right. Minus the number of interceptions times 45. So again, I'm going to go minus 45I here. Okay. And then minus the sack yards lost, so minus SL. All right. And that says, then we have, that's all of that is being divided by number of passing attempts, so PA, plus the number of sacks. And that's it. Okay. And that's it. So we want to in part B and S is to find the value given these table of values. All right. So what I want you to do, I want to take these numbers and we're going to plug it in to our formula here. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to copy this to the other page. Hold on. Okay. So I have my formula here. All right. I want to let's plug it in. All right, we're back. So let's plug everything in. So PY was passing yards. All right, so passing yards, he is 4,477 plus 20 times the passing touchdowns, which was 55, minus 45 times the interceptions, which is 10, minus sack yards lost, which is 120. All over pass attempts plus sacks. So passing attempts is 659 plus the number of sacks, which is 18. All right, so I want to plug all that in. All right, so I want to figure out what the top numerator is. Remember, let's plug in as you see it in your calculator or on Desmos. That's 6007 all over 677. And if I divide that, I get 8.87. So 8.87 would go right there. So that quarterback's rating is 8.87. What does that stand for again? Adjusted net passing yards per attempt. Okay. So what if a player wants to increase their NEA value or whatever you call it? What should they do? All right, well, they should obviously decrease the number of interceptions. That would be step number one. Okay. And ideally decrease the number of times that they're sacked and how many yards they lose when sacked. All right. Let's talk about today. So can you evaluate formulas using the correct order of operations? Do you know how your calculator handles those orders? And then I think you should know what the P in PEMDAS means. It means parentheses. There it is, right? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and subtraction. I've also heard a different one that Ms. Rupnick uses. Holy buckets. I forget what it was. So that's no help to you. But there's other things out there. All right. Excuse me. All right. There's other ways out there to remember PEMDAS, but I think that's the most common one. All right, so let's keep going. Simplify. All right, so this gave us a solution here. Okay, remember PEMDAS. All right. So the first thing I want to look for, are there any parentheses? No, there's not. So that's out. Is there an exponent? So apply the exponent. All right, so I square the 4 to get 16. Multiplication is next. 8 times 16. Now, technically, this is where some people get confused. Technically, I know they said there weren't any parentheses, but technically, this is the parentheses. Okay, those are in parentheses there. All right, I like to think of it like that. Okay, as that being in the parentheses, because I want to do everything in the numerator first before dividing by the denominator. Now, I realize that addition and subtraction comes after division. However, I guess I could do this. I could do 18 divided by 3 minus 128 divided by 3. But that only happens when there's a single term in the denominator. Okay, if there's a double term in the denominator, I can't do this. Okay, but I think it's easiest to take care of, simplify the numerator and simplify the denominator completely before actually dividing like this. Okay, now technically it does go against what we think or what PEMDAS says. However, that is the easiest way to do it. All right, people. All right. Simplified expression. These are pretty simple. PEMDAS 3 plus 5 squared is 25. So it's 28. Okay. Order of operations, I want to do what's inside the parentheses first. So parentheses, I got 7 minus 3. No, you cannot write this as 4 because the 3 is attached to the parentheses. All right. That's a common mistake. That's why we're doing this. A common mistake a lot of people make. I still cannot write this as 4. All right. I have to do 7 minus 3. I have to square that negative 4 first to get 16. Okay, remember, that's negative 4 times negative 4. If you input that into your calculator, you must have parentheses around the negative 4. Using Desmos as a calculator, you must have parentheses around the negative 4. Okay, no matter what. All right, because if you do not, you would have a negative 16 here. Okay, I still can't subtract the 7 minus 3. I have to multiply next. Remember, PEMDAS. First things first, take care of the parentheses. We did that. Take care of the exponents. We did that. Take care of the multiplication next. 3 times 16 is 48. Now I can subtract 7 minus 41, or 7 minus 48 is negative 41. Should we try another one? I feel like we should. Now, this is a square root. All right, I can treat square roots as just a really complicated set of parentheses. Okay, so I'm going to do that. 4 squared, excuse my hand. Yes. All right, 4 to the third power is 64. Okay, minus square root. Now, I have 16 times 2 squared. What do you think I should do first? Square root 2. Yes, good job. I should square the 2 first. So now it's 16 times 4. Why? PEMDAS. Because the exponent comes before the multiplication. So I need to square this before I can multiply it. All right? So now I have 64 minus the square root of 64 over 4. Keep going. 64, what's the square of 64? It's 8. 8 divided by 4. I know what 8 divided by 4 is. It's 2. Are these a lot of steps? Yes. Could I plug this into my calculator all at once? I sure could, but you better be careful with your parentheses and things, okay? And how you subtract things. There's a program for me to show you that. I don't have it downloaded right now. I don't know if all of us have a graphing calculator. All right, so I'm not going to do that. I just like going step by step. If you go step by step, you're less likely to make a mistake along the way. Okay, that's why I kind of do that. I find it easiest that way. All right, so negative 4 stays the same, plus stays the same. Square root. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pause here. I want you to try this one. All right, so let's go step by step here. 5 squared, I got 25. And I actually did multiply these out. -4 times -3 gives me positive 12. 12 times 2 gives me 24. Okay. Now, parentheses, I want to add these two numbers to get 49. So I got -4 plus 49 all over 2. The square root of 49 is 7. -4 plus 7 divided by 2. -4 plus 7 is 3. 3 divided by 2 gives me 1.5. All right. Now, this should look eerily familiar. Okay. -4 plus the square root, all this. This is actually a form of the quadratic formula. I don't know if you remember. I know you remember that. All right. It is part of the quadratic formula. Remember, it's in the quadratic formula. It's actually plus or minus. So we just. Why we're doing this because we're going to build up to that. Okay. Evaluate the expression 2 minus 3x squared when x is -2 by replacing x with -2 and simplifying. Basically, what they're saying is input -2 in for x. So let's do that. 2 minus 3, -2 squared all over 2. Well, exponent first, PEMDAS, or parentheses first. So luckily, I don't have to actually do anything in my parentheses. I just raise it to the power. -2 times 2 is 4. 2 minus 12 over 2. Remember, 3 times 4 is 12. Bring that negative down. -10 over 2. 2 minus 12 gives me -10. -10 divided by 2 gives me negative. Okay. How it works, evaluating a formula, that's just what we just did. Okay. You just replace the, excuse me. Ooh, my leg kind of hurts. You replace the value, replace the variable with the value. All right. Just plug it in. We just plug it in. Let's plug it in. Excuse me. The formula. All right. You've seen this formula before. Okay. This is the compound interest formula. Okay. If you want to invest $P at a rate, R is the decimal, N is the number of times compounded per year, T is time. All right, or how long, the number of years the money is invested. So assume that you invest $1,000 at an interest rate of 3 5/8%, compounded monthly. How much after 20 years? So my principal value is 1,000. 1 plus the rate is 3 5/8. So if I do 5 divided by 8, that's 0.625. So plus 3, so that's 3.625%. 3.625%. Remember that I need to write a percent as a decimal. So I either divide by 100 or just move the decimal place over twice. So that's 0.03625. Number of times compounded a year. If it's monthly, there's 12 months in a year. Again, n is in the exponent, so 12 times 20. All right, parentheses. Simplify what's in the parentheses first. 1 plus, what is this? 0. That divided by 12 is a big number, or is a really, really small number. Plus 1. I get 1.00302833. I'm just going to do that. Okay. 12 times 20 is 240. All right. Order of operations, got to do the exponents. I'm going to do 1.003 to the 240th power to get 1,000 times 2.05. 1,000 times 2.05 gives me an answer of $2,050. Wow. Wow. Could you plug all this into a calculator? Yeah, you could. Yes, you can. If you have a graphing calculator, you should be able to do that. Try this one. IQR. Don't be confused. about all these letters. Know that the IQR is 33, Q1 is 60. Plug it in, find it, go ahead, give it a shot. All right, this is what I got. Just plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. Plug it in. All right, 1.5 times 33, I got 49.5. 60 minus 49.5, 10.5. That's it. We can try this one. Holy buckets. This is a lot of numbers. Okay. You can try that one too. Okay, so what's the point? So what do we do? What do we just learn how to do? Using our order of operations and how to evaluate formulas and expressions. Should we try this one? I know what you're all thinking. How about, I'm thinking like maybe? What do you think? I know what you're saying. I can see you saying no. All right, why don't we do this one instead? Let's do this one. All right, then we'll call it a day. So go ahead and give this one a shot. Calculate the z-score. Go. That wasn't too bad. All right, maybe we'll do the next one as like a warm-up on Tuesday. All right, so 85 miles, or excuse me, Wednesday. 85 miles 100 gives me negative 15 over 15, which is, that should be negative 1. All right, that's it for today. You are going to do your homework next. Your homework assignment is pretty short, and there's a reason for that. Why? Why is that? Why? Because we want you to work on your project that is due next Friday. All right? Hope you enjoyed this video. That's it.